and essentially everything that you do is yours for the taking, right? So that's the end-to-end management of for enterprises to look at this information and then use it for their own liking. I'll pause there for a second if there are any questions, and we'll get back. Okay, sounds good. Let's get back to it. While this is an end-to-end management platform for enterprises to manage their patents, it provides you a centralized location to look at all of the patents or suggestions that have been suggested by your team and your and the members of the organization, and then proceed with working towards other stakeholders with similar interest who can apply, and then also build the patent yourself and file that as a smaller entity, as an individual, or as a large corporation with other effects. So it helps you manage all of your AI and patenting portfolio at one place. It provides you with analysis and results on how you can move forward, and then integrates with your existing IP management system if you have any, and can also onboard existing customers or any other vendors to also then integrate here and ingest all of your data at one place. So that's what it does. You can schedule a demo or schedule a call to learn more. That is available. You have the my calendar available to ask for any questions and schedule a call as to how the platform works, and we can walk you through that. So that's PatentPilot. You can also learn more and get started with protecting your invention and going from there. So if I go back, I can book a call similar to the calendar link I provided, but this essentially is an end-to-end patent management and AI workspace for analyzing and managing your patents lifecycle. And think of it as like a workspace where all of your patents live, breathe, approve, get life cycle, and gets through the process. So that what PatentPilot is. It's the #1 patent filing platform in India, and it provides AI powered analysis and end-to-end management of your patents across for an individual as well as for large, small, medium sized organizations as well. All you need to do is provide it an input based on any idea that you have or any invention that you are working on, want to work on, or just want to analyze whether it can be patented or not. It provides you with all the analysis. So we can start off with something simple and see how it goes and where it takes us. Let me try to bring up or find a prompt that I can put here and see if it actually works. So what I want to do is find out something that we can type and test out. So let's just do something simple. A platform that helps manage and optimize your supply chain across multiple vendors with state of the art planning and overview of the supply chain and demand analysis. And as you can see, the more I type and the more prompts I provided, the better it can do. With more information, it can analyze better, it can give you more context and give you the great results based on the patent or the invention that you're trying to file for, and gives you better analysis and demand across region for optimized delivery. So I've just put in something generic at this point which I don't expect to be patentable, but let's see where that takes us, right? So I'll go here. I've entered a few words. It's I'm clicking on analyze patentability. All I need to do is just sign in to my Google account, and from there it will take me back and show me the results. So if I sign in now, I'm just doing that on the other screen, but once this is done and I close this, it'll restart and refresh and take me to the page. So let's analyze it again. It's analyzing its results and it will give me a dashboard and a view of my prompt and my invention that I have planned and how that works for an actual patent to be filed, if something like this can actually be filed as a patent. So it's doing its job and finding out what's possible, what's not, going through multiple patent offices and their databases to find out if there's something similar. It will suggest me, it will also give me recommendations as to what I can do and improve here, and get the results on my screen to then iterate, improve. And I can actually also, the fun part of it is I can extract and export a lot of this information and go from there. I'll just try it again and see what's the matter here. But generally you should see some analysis happen and be available for you. I probably don't have one of my internal screens working, but as you can see, it did refresh and it gave me analysis of the idea that I've had on my screen, and it's provided it a moderate likelihood and a score above 50, which I didn't expect honestly to be the case. And it gives me all the details, right? So the invention shows moderate promise of patentability, particularly if key features are further clarified and differentiated from existing supply chain methods. So yeah, I think it did sound like a great pitch essentially if you were to do it, but it's nothing unique so far because I've not really gotten into the details. I've just given it a simple prompt and so it's given me, and it compares it across 4 parameters on the basis of novelty. What's the non-obviousness of this thing? I think the score will be lower on that. Yes, I have gotten only a 15 out of 30 there, but industrial application is high because it talks about supply chain and industries as a whole, and the clarity and completeness of the idea itself. So that's there. Is well established. Novelty depends on specific algorithm because I have not really gotten into details. It's assuming that I will have something planned there, and distinguish across existing solutions. Overlaps may exist in the areas of expertise, resource planning, and logistics software. The inventive step hinges on whether the state of the art planning. Yeah, so it took keywords and puts word in. I mean, I did put words in its mouth for it to analyze and give me suggestions, but I have not really gotten it. And it specifically asked me to expand that, and it's not really clear based on just the keywords. But it did find out prior art and related patents. It gives me the patent number as well across EPO, World Patent, and USPTO. Supply chain method systems similar in scope but lack specific AI driven optimization, like I was talking about. Overlaps in general function may not address real time regional demand variations, like I was talking about. Focuses on forecasting but not integrated supply chain. So this is great. And as I told, it works great as a pitch. It might not really be patentable, but it has gone through its research, found out patents and patent offices and actual score for me to then look at. And then then the step comes about actionable steps and progress. So it's given me 8 suggestions here with the title, the amount of effort it will take me, and ordered it in terms of the effort, potential estimated time that would take me to research and implement this on my own, and the potential score is. So currently the score is 62, but if I, for example, complete these items overall over a period of time, I will get my analysis and my scores improved, which means the likelihood of the patent increases. And then using the same PatentPilot platform, I can actually go forward and then file for a patent here as well. And it also gives me details about what factors will improve, right? Because we know that one of the factors were non-obviousness. Let's see what suggestions it has under non-obviousness. So it has conduct comprehensive prior art focusing on supply chain management. Yes, it did some initial research, but I will have to go and dig deeper for myself. Elaborate on the state of art of planning features, specifying algorithms and methods used. Details the methods optimize delivery, including specific routing or inventory management. Let me write that down for myself. So now that I've written my notes that I need to take an action on, I can write it down. But the good part is with this platform, I can actually just export all of this into a PDF, and I can also share it with my colleagues who can then take action on this and also look at the same itself, right? But here I have, and let's say for example, because this is one of the easiest ones, similar patents, I can just mark it done. I have a +4 increase in my patentability, and as you can see, the score has increased to 66 now. So all of this is dynamic, all of this is vibe coded, for example, and I have a progress bar of 1 of 8 items that I have completed. Now let's say I have completed all of these, right? I will have some additional analysis done into my, and then I can actually reanalyze my patent with improvements, and the score now should be 100 out of 100. So this is the PatentPilot platform and the power of it. It gives you analysis, it gives you score, and gives you ways and other similar patents that are in the market, along with steps that you can take action on. It also gives you additional jurisdiction specific analysis. Software related inventions have varying patentability standards. In the US, focus on technical aspects and avoid claiming abstract ideas, because if it's abstract, there's no essence or no substance in it. It has a very low chance of getting patented. In Europe, demonstrated clear technical effort beyond the normal interaction. In India, mathematical methods and business methods are generally not patentable unless linked to a novel hardware implementation. So there are nuances of how you can grant or get a patent granted in a specific region. I think in India, there is more focus or more weightage on hardware based implementations that would allow something to be filed as a patent and granted as a patent, whereas in Europe, more technical details around it, and similarly in the US as well. Instead of avoiding abstract keywords and abstract subjects, you focus on what's really important. And then you can start the patent file your patent application. It will take you to the Indian Patent Office and take you to the patent web page, and guide you through that process of filing the patent itself, and similarly across all other regions as well. Now I can export this as a PDF, and it will start the export process for me, and the PDF is exported. Let me just download it, and I can then quickly use this as a reference for myself. The analysis date, what was the score after all the improvements I've done, all the prior art, action items that I completed, and all of those details around with the same. So this is the PatentPilot platform. We built it entirely from scratch using vibecoding and with Cursor. If I can also bring that up for you to look at. Everything is actually built within Cursor, and I'm actually working on something additional within this with multiple other tools and segments. So all of this is work of Cursor in this case, and there are additional tools that I've also built called the patent fees calculator, because every patent has a fees associated to it. You can then look at and analyze for my patent that I have now figured out what is the actual patent and the actual details of it that I want to file. How much is it going to cost me as an individual or a startup or a large organization? So I can select myself as an entity. Ideally, e-filing is recommended because that's the easiest way. You don't really have to make rounds of the patent office or find out where is the closest patent office for my location and then figure out. E-filing is better. Everything is handled online. You probably have to go through a few interview cycles at the patent office towards the examination and validation process by the office itself. They probably will call you for an interview and request for details, but for the most part, the first interview takes place in-house, right? So these are your patent application details and the filing method that you can provide. And the good part here is if you don't understand how to file a patent, we have all the details around what type of entity, helping you figure out what type of entity you are and things like that. E-filing is done through an online IP India portal, which you can get help on, and how to patent that through the platform itself. Additionally, the number of pages, so the default page size is 30. Every page beyond it has its additional cost, as explained in the tooltip. The number of claims that you're filing for, right? So within a patent you can file for multiple claims, and the base is 10. So if you go beyond 10, there's additional cost per claim that you make it within the patent. Ideally, 5 to 10 is the ideal range. If you go beyond that, ideally you should think of filing a different patent for it, or probably something, or and make it as its own patent that you file for. And then priority claims are essentially claims that you want to make, and the higher priority includes additional cost for you, and then the filing, examination, and the granting of the patent is much quicker in those cases. There are additionally 50% discount if you have already filed a patent before, which is under section 54 of the Indian Patent Act. And if it is something related to biology or biodiversity, in a sense, you get an additional discount for that. And there's the tooltip around what are the criteria and the factors involved in it. So this is generally, for example, based on the default details I filled out, the total cost comes out to be 5,600, both on the application fee as well as the examination fee. The examination fee is the fee that the Indian Patent Office uses to examine your patents and then analyze what the cost for it would be, right? And it's their essentially validation cost for the patent office to keep doing this over a period of time and sustain it for the number of patents that have been filed across. So that's the total cost. You can file the patent now, go to the IP India e-filing portal, and then it will help you and guide you through this whole process. Then you have patent renewals. There are costs for renewing your patents at a certain year, and the fees for each year range is a little different. And if you want to renew, so patent last 20 years but require annual renewal fees from year 3 onwards. Fees includes over a period of year 3 to 6 are the cheapest, year 16 to 20 are most expensive. So essentially, if you want to not renew, make it available for everyone, then the idea is not unique to yours, and everyone else can basically copy it in a way. So that's the renewal fees that you can also add. So if I keep adding years, the fees for 4 years, for example, is added onto my cost, and so on and so forth, right? So and what I've also done is provided sample scenarios. So if you are an individual inventor, your patent is very simple, it is within the guidelines, the max cost it will cost you is 5,600. Then if you are a software patent with early publication, you want to publish it earlier, you are paying a publication fee that is additional on top of the 5,000, as well as for the number of pages which exceed the number 30, which is the default. Similarly, large corporation have a complex patent but wants expedited examination and publication, then your cost can jump up to 1 lakh, for example. And similarly, biotech or a research institution filing for a patent, and so on and so forth. So these are scenarios that you can also apply. So when I apply a specific scenario, the cost and the details get updated based on the same, as well as there are some suggestions on how you can actually optimize for your cost. Choose e-filing over physical, as I mentioned, and qualify for small entity status. So a smaller entity generally gets their patent file quicker. Optimize for your page count, keep it around 30 page ballpark, limit claims to 10 because everything beyond cost extra. Plan your renewal strategy. Renewal fees, because they increase over time, consider business timeline, how important the patent is for you over a period of time, or have you extracted all the value out of it, and are basically the market leader for the invention that you have patented and have been granted a patent for. Use section 54. So this will be a great strategy if you file a patent with 10 claims with 30 pages, but you have additional things that you want to claim about. Turn that into patent number 2 and use the benefits of section 54 to get a 50% discount. So that's, and skip early publication unless it is needed, because as long as you have the patent official certificate that you have filed for a patent, I think it puts you and makes you eligible to then promote and talk about it, because there is an actual patent number, just that it's not been granted or been officially rolled out as from the Indian Patent Office or any other patent office for that matter. And consider this normal unless necessary or you are in certain circumstances, because that will also save you a lot of your cost. So this is PatentPilot, the platform that we've built, which is, for example, your all-and-all patent filing platform within India. It has tools. There are additional tools that will come about, where you can ask multiple FAQs and doubts that you might have around patent filing process itself. We have a knowledge base that we are building and fine-tuning our LLMs to answer for that. Additionally, we have the patent fees calculator. We'll also have the chatbot to ask questions and a specific FAQ section. Now all of this is just a weekend activity that I do to play around with these vibe coding platforms I was talking about, Cursor in this case, and these are some glimpse of that interface itself. I ask questions, I improve the SEO and the website for people to actually make use of it and find it useful. And I was talking, there are documentation that we are building as well. And let me also walk you through the releases and the updates will be covered on this channel, and you will find it on my socials and our social handles as well, which are a part of the description or will be part of the channel details that you can find out. But essentially how I led to this and how I came across this idea, I've written it at detail and in length within my blog on shagun.xyz/patent. But yeah, I was looking at some data and some information that I found online, and I found that there has been some work going on in the Indian Patent Office, right? Because previously what we have seen is the volumes, or if you compare the number of patents filed within US with the ones in India or in China or Japan or any other sort of developed nation, you will find that our speed was very low, which is at the left end of it. So low patent filing, few domestic patent applications, but in FY24 we saw over 90,000 filings of patents over a period of time because of the reforms made and making it less complex from a bureaucracy and from an execution point of view. So it has been an effort from, I think, the advisory council of the PM and their team specifically, who I was following and sort of came across the efforts they have made, and then felt like there are still some obvious gaps. And there's also a very good paper, let me find it out, from the Economic Advisory Committee within the government, and they were essentially talking about how the reforms that they have made have helped improve and for us to gain to those 90,000 filings in FY24. So I'll also probably bring that at the end of this. And what also happened is the number of grants also increased because of the workforce in the Indian Patent Office was expedited, and more patent agents essentially were hired and onboarded to examine and validate these inventions that have been filed. And as a result, the number of grants have also increased by 149 or 150 approximate percent overall over previous years. And most of the patents have actually been filed by residents people from Indian subcontinent itself, where ideally a lot of the times patents are filed across regions by multiple organizations, but in this case more than 50% of the patents were filed by domestic residents themselves, which has now led us to and get us to a high patent filing situation and intellectual property driven economy, where a lot of startups actually do file patents for their inventions and for the startup they are building, where the idea that they are building the startup against has elements which are unique and can be patentable, and has led to an intellectual IP driven economy over a period of time. And there were multiple strategic opportunities. There are still opportunities in the pharma sector, biotechnology, where a lot of the patents that are filed in US and probably might violate patents but are still allowed due to certain laws within the Indian ecosystem, especially in the pharmaceutical and biotechnology space. But a lot of the patents are being filed in the artificial intelligence space as well, right? The technology sectors, the more complex the landscape, the more great services and technology patents that we're filing. And as a reminder, the likelihood of a patent to be filed in India depends on whether there's a hardware component to it, because if there's just a mathematical or arithmetic, it's not really granted a patent, but you need to have additional details and parameters available for the Indian Patent Office to actually find a reason to actually patent this. Now there were market size, so if you see, there were 6 million US dollars market size of the IP market, software market as a whole, but over 2028 the number is almost 4 times over a period of a few years. Into 2028 it will be somewhere close to the $21 million US mark. and that's what PatentPilot is trying to catch hold of and trying to see if it can get hold of some people who find it useful. And the way to bridge that gap is through our platform called PatentPilot, which helps and is the best platform for you to validate, file, and manage your patents end to end, and essentially is a workspace for patent management and your AI workspace for managing and working on patents as a whole. So that's what led to PatentPilot, and how you can then use the PatentPilot platform to start from validation, suggestion, implementation, optimization, and actually filing of that patent end to end within our platform based on the demo that I just showed you a few seconds ago. Essentially, I've also covered how PatentPilot works and the positioning for it, and how these patent innovations are actually positioning India on the global map, and how we can build it further and improve the patent ecosystem within India. And how you can engage is use and leverage the PatentPilot website, which is provided here under patentpilot.versale.app. We'll probably buy our own domain once we see more traction and more growing from here. But I think Versale and the platform as a whole does a great job in terms of managing the traffic that we receive today, and go from there. So that's essentially about PatentPilot, how we came about it, how we leveraged vibe coding platforms and the vibe coding ecosystem as a whole to build something like this from end to end and make it available online for you to consume, use, and make new patents and file new patents out of. So that's essentially PatentPilot, where you can validate and improve and work on your inventions and file for patents by them. And the CTA here is to try PatentPilot out and share your suggestions and feedback in the comments of this video, or reach out to me via email and all the other mediums that you can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and everywhere else. But yeah, that's been PatentPilot, the #1 patent filing platform in India, and something that can help you file your patent and get to your invention and own an invention for yourself. So yeah, that's everything that we wanted to cover today about PatentPilot as a whole. We'll see you in one of our future live streams, where I probably give an update to PatentPilot, what's been going there, and we also probably will discuss some other topics that come up that I find interesting over a period of time. But yeah, that's all for today. See you guys in the next one.